Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Vlogmas. This should be Vlogmas day 5 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Vlogmas day 5. Welcome back to my channel. Okay guys, today's video is going to be a get ready with me video. You guys love when I do get ready with me videos, and I love making get ready with me videos too. So today's video is going to be a chit chat get ready with me video. I'm going to be doing my makeup and also talking to you guys about different stuff. Sorry, I'm eating breakfast guys. It's literally 10 a.m. This is my first meal. Okay, these were made by Jessie, by the way. Yeah, so without further ado, without wasting too much of your time, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the star of today's show is going to be the Ezekiel X Lydia Stanley palette. You guys, I haven't used this palette yet because I wanted to use it for the very first time in a video like this. Also to give you guys a first impression on what I think about the palette. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Really cute packaging, like I said in my unboxing video some time ago, and the colors are so beautiful. So this is what the palette looks like. Very cute, very pretty, and the color that is sticking out for me here is the color Laifa, this really gorgeous pink. So I feel like I'm going to do a lot with that color today. Cornrows never last. I can do these cornrows like right now, then in 2 days it looks like I've done it for like 2 weeks. So I'm going to prime with my Rimmel Stay Matte Primer, and my foundations are going to be the Clinique foundations, the Even Better Refresh and the regular Even Better. So guys, the very first thing I want to talk about in this video is womb watchers. I am now at that point in my life where womb watchers have started again. You get married, you don't get pregnant, womb watchers will attack you. You give birth to one child, wait small, womb watchers will still come for you. I'm tired. I'm so tired of it. Can we stop? Like, I think it's it's becoming almost ridiculous. So funny because I remember very, very well when I was trying to conceive. If you guys don't know my story and when I was trying to conceive, I will leave it linked up here just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you're an OG follower, an OG subscriber, you should definitely have seen that video back then. So I had a video where I talked about my trying to conceive journey, but I only talked about that journey after I was already pregnant with Mia. I will leave it linked up here just in case you haven't watched it yet. But I remember when I was trying to conceive, you guys, I cannot remember for the life of me how many times I cried and how many times I was sad, not because I hadn't conceived per se, but because of the kind of things people were beginning to say, or the way people were beginning to, I don't know how to explain it, they're beginning to talk. I don't know how to explain it. So annoying. Like, it was super annoying that you would go somewhere and people are staring at your stomach, like not like your stomach is big or anything. They're just staring at your stomach, waiting for you to tell them if you are pregnant or not. And it was just like the most annoying thing ever. I remember very well that I had to stop going to my church. That's the church my parents worship at. I had to stop going there because I couldn't stand the constant talking, the constant insinuations by people and everything. It was just a lot. I remember one particular incident like that. I can't really remember what the person said now because I've forgotten all about it. The thing was more or less like telling me, I don't know how she put it, but she was more or less like telling me something about, oh, I should stop this yanga I'm doing, and go and get pregnant, something like that. I can't remember for the life of me, and I was standing with somebody else, and the person like cautioned her and was like, didn't you hear what the priest said today and everything, and the homily that everybody's blessings will come to them. This is somebody that I barely even spoke to. Like, this is somebody that's me and you were not close to anything. So what gave you the effrontery to actually say nonsense like that? But guys, these things are happening every day, and you think people would learn from it, but they don't learn. Like, people are still talking about nonsense stuff like this, still talking to people who have just gotten married and aren't pregnant. Some of them even blame you for not being pregnant, like more or less low key. They blame you for not being pregnant. It's ridiculous. Like, it is so ridiculous. I literally had to stop going to that church. Like, I stopped going to that church until I had gotten pregnant and my bump was like showing well. That was when I started going for mass there again, but I had stopped because I just couldn't. Some of them would maybe walk up to you after church and just be staring at your stomach like this, and I'm like, That is the most uncomfortable thing ever. Nobody wants to have to go through that every Sunday. Nobody. Stop going there, you guys. And my mom understood. She had to understand because it was a lot. Like, it was a lot for me. That was when I was trying to conceive and it wasn't happening. And having to face that every Sunday was the most annoying and the most ridiculous, the most hurtful thing. You know, it just didn't make sense. Please, if you're watching this video and you are a womb watcher, whether you're coming from a place of love or you're coming from a place of, I don't even know, because they always say, oh, it's from a place of love. I get it, but mind your business, sis. Auntie, uncle, especially in churches, mind your business. Mind the business that feeds you and keep your eye away from people's lives. Okay? I also remember one particular experience like that. You guys, if I tell you this thing, you will not believe it happened to me. The house that Jesse and I were living in as newlyweds, we were like 4 in the compound, like 4 flats in the compound. And usually when we have any issues, we had a WhatsApp group where we talk about issues maybe concerning the house that we all need to fix as neighbors, as tenants, and all of that. Yeah, so they wanted to employ a security personnel in the house. One of them was a graduate. The other person was like a full-grown man with a wife and 2 kids. Okay, I mean a wife and a baby, I can't remember right now. And in that house, my own flat was downstairs. My bedroom window was directly facing the security house. Most of us were all for them employing the graduate guy and everything, but there were 2 other tenants who didn't want this other person. They wanted this person that had a wife and a baby. And I'm like, look, my window is directly facing the security house. I cannot have a crying baby in my head morning, afternoon, night. I can't do that. And by the way, how many security men move in with their wife and children? Most times, if the security man has a family, they would be going to see them, you know, every other week or something, or every 2 or 3 weeks. But it's hard for me to hear that security men and their wife and their children move into the same little, you know, like, you know how you guys know how security houses are, they are really small. Move into that same little cubicle of a space with a wife and, you know, kids. So in my head, I'm like, I can't, because my window is like directly in front of the security house, and it's me that will suffer it. You guys are upstairs, you will not suffer it though. It's me that will suffer it. So can we go with this other person instead? And then one of the ladies you guys, one of the ladies now said, that why don't I want the guy to move in now, that it looks like I don't like children. Bear in mind, you guys, bear in mind that this was the peak of when I was trying to conceive. This is when every month my period would come and I'll be crying like a baby. This was the peak of my trying to conceive journey, and somebody told me that. Like, guys, I felt so bad. And my husband took it up because it was on the WhatsApp group that they typed it. So my husband took it up, and the lady in question, her husband was not even around. Her husband was out of town. And her husband saw the message. He immediately told her she needs to apologize for saying that, you know, because I think at that time she was expecting, and then the other lady already had a baby. So it was almost as if I was the only one in the compound who was not pregnant or had a child, and I was married, that kind of thing. But guys, it really, really hurt me. My husband was so upset. Like, he went on the WhatsApp group and lambasted her, and then she apologized that she didn't mean it like that, blah blah blah. Because that's the thing, guys, when you make comments to women who are married about childbearing, about having kids, you don't know what they are going through. You don't know if they are trying to conceive. You don't know if they've had miscarriages. You don't know if they don't even want children at all. It's not your business, really. Stop commenting on women and their wombs. Stop it. It's the worst. It's the worst thing. Just stop. For those who are taking their time, allow them to have kids when they are ready. For those who are trying to conceive, allow them to have kids when God says it is the time. Stop commenting on people's wombs. So the next thing that I want to comment on is something that happened recently. Guys, there was an accident that claimed the life of Mrs. Amaka Ndomegba. If you don't know her, she's the wife of a senator here. And is he a serving senator or he was a senator before? I don't remember. But yes, there was an accident that claimed her life less than a month ago. She was going for the funeral of one of her friend's mothers, and she died on her way there with about 3 of her friends. Now let me tell you guys a backstory on what happened. Their friend lost her mom, and of course, as supportive friends, they wanted to be there for their friend, I guess. From my investigation, okay, they wanted to charter a flight, but something happened, I don't know, and they didn't charter the plane again, and instead they flew to Benin, and the Benin state government now gave them a vehicle, like a bus and some other cars, to take them to Akure for the burial. Now, this accident happened around 9 p.m., which means they flew into Benin that day and still continued. Personally, I would have slept over in Benin and continued my journey in the morning, but they went ahead and, you know, entered the road, and the accident happened around 9 p.m. or thereabouts. And I think only one person survived in that accident. I think it was a head-on collision with a trailer or something like that, and they all perished. This woman who was in her prime, you guys will know her. If you know her, she's tall and pretty and everything, in her prime with 3 other of her friends. I heard that one of them is a billionaire's wife as well, an Anambra State billionaire's wife. From the news, I heard, you know. So this woman lost her life with 3 women in their prime. These women were like in their early 50s or so. Women who are in their prime, guys. Where were they going? They were going for a funeral. Now, this is not like the only experience I have heard, or the only story I have heard that concerns people's funerals. Another story I will give you guys is, my mom belongs to CWO. If your mom is a Christian mother, a Catholic mother, I'm sure she belongs to CWO wherever she is. So my mom belongs to CWO, and they lost one of their members some time ago. And of course, as it is with when you lose a member of a society, of a group, there will always be a delegation that will go for that funeral. So there was a delegation that was selected to go for the funeral as CWO women, and they went for the funeral. They were coming back to Abuja. Everything was going well. They had gone for funeral and they were coming back, and they had an accident inside Abuja. They had already entered inside FCT. I think it was somewhere in Abaji or Kuji or something, and they all died. 2 women that I know very well in my church, like 2 women that I know where they sit, died just like that. Another story that I heard was somebody I know personally, a friend of mine. He went for a funeral, and right there in the middle of the interment, the building behind them collapsed, and he was standing by the building. Until today, he has a bad leg because of that incident. Another story I heard very recently is someone's mom went for a funeral in her village. She lives here in Abuja, by the way, but she had a funeral to attend in her village, and she went for the funeral. And right there at the funeral, she just passed out. Yeah, she just passed out, and they were rushing her to the hospital, and she died on the way to the hospital. Somebody with no known health issue, somebody that did not have high BP, did not have any kind of health issue, as healthy as anything, just slumped, and that was the end. What is the moral of my story, you guys? The moral of my story is, guys, please be careful the funerals that you go for. My mother would tell you, it's not every funeral that you attend. I'm sorry to say, because funerals are very, very spiritual events, guys. I can't begin to tell you, they are very spiritual events. Hold on, guys, let me finish doing my brows. I'll come back and continue my gist. Okay, so my brows are done. Let's continue the gist. So like I was saying, guys, it's not every funeral you attend. Personally, I don't even go for funerals. I don't go for burials, except it's a very close family friend or a close friend or family, which I don't even pray for. But I rather like send you money as part of my condolence gift and everything. I don't just travel anyhow for funerals, because guys, it's a crazy world that we live in. Okay, I'm going to use this shade, this shade, this shade. Let's go. Oh, guys, pigment. Okay, all right, Lydia Stanley, Ezekiel Cosmetics, I see you. Okay, okay. Guys, it's not every funeral that you attend though. Please, if you don't have to go, please stay put. Send your condolences via messages or calls or cash. You know, if you don't have to go, please don't. Funerals and burials are very, very spiritual events. Like I said earlier, a lot happens at funerals and burials that you do not even see and you do not even know. Obviously, they're spiritual things, you cannot see them. But if you're highly spiritual, you can feel them. Yeah, so many of those things happen, and I just feel like it's better to be safe than sorry. So a lot of these people that I know that have passed away, as regards to going for funerals or coming back from funerals, or even at the funeral and something happened, I feel like many of them will probably be alive today. You can call it a coincidence or not, but I feel like it's too much of a coincidence. I just feel like many of them will still be alive today had they not gone for those funerals. And from my investigation, a lot of the people that have supposedly died or lost their lives on their way back from a funeral are not even related to the person who died. You get, like, this is not a case of, oh, my mom died and something happened to me, or a case of my uncle died or my brother died, you are not related to them in any way. You know, they are more or less like guests at that funeral, and you know, this thing happened. So it's really sad, you guys. It's really, really sad. Let's just be a bit more careful. This world not be as it be. This world is not what it seems, honestly. Let's all just be really careful, okay? Especially this Ember month. This Ember month has a way of taking people in mass. So please, let's just be very, very careful. I don't know how 2020 has been. Guys, 2020 has been a year. 2020 was not the 2020 that we're all expecting. Like, I remember back then, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when we used to look forward to the year 2020, it was like, this year, it's going to be, you know, fantastic. And as at last year, you know, everybody was literally getting set for the year 2020. But this year has just been, I don't know, guys. This year has been the worst year. You know how every year, towards the end of every year, we want the year to end so badly. I remember last year, a lot of people were saying, oh, people have died in 2019. Oh, let's move to 2020 and hope for better. But this year, I feel like this year was somewhere just watching us and saying, okay, I'm about to shock the whole world. And indeed, the whole world was shocked. Guys, I don't think people have died in 1 year the way in my own lifetime, when people have died this year. I don't think people have died like this, like, ever. Of course, the pandemic affected businesses, affected brands, affected a lot, affected people's livelihood. The unemployment rate all over the world went up. Like, it's just, I don't know, guys. I'm just hoping and praying that next year is better. I feel like the world has suffered so much this year, like, due to this pandemic. The world has really suffered, and I really, really hope and pray that next year is way better than this, because this was not a year as far as I'm concerned. This year was not a year at all. I'm loving how this pink is looking. It's looking really hot, and I'm really liking it. Let me just finish my eyes and I will come back to you guys. Yeah, so are you guys traveling for Christmas? I know that the year has been such a shitty one, and a lot of people are not even looking forward to going anywhere for Christmas. But let me know in the comment section down below if you have any plans for Christmas this year. Are you traveling? For me, I most likely would travel maybe to Asaba, most likely, not sure. But if I'm going to Asaba, you guys would definitely know from Vlogmas series. You guys would definitely know. Using my Milani blush. This is like one of my holy grail blushes, quite frankly. I know the year has been crazy for us all, and a lot of people feel like there's no reason to actually celebrate this year or celebrate anything this year. But I feel like we should all be thankful that we are alive to even see the end of this year. Guys, people died this year. People died this year. Millions of people died this year, but we are alive and we should be thankful for that. What are you most thankful for? Despite how the year has gone, what are you most thankful for, like, this year? For me, I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for, you know, just being alive to see the end of the year is a blessing for me, because I know that a lot of people, they didn't see the end of this year, so I count myself lucky to be among the living. I think I want to do something really simple on the lips. The eyes are colorful and popping, so we can't have color on the lips. Let me go and find something nude for my lips. Okay, I think we are done with this look. Let me put on my outfit real quick and give you guys like a B-roll of what my outfit looks like, okay? Okay, now, smoking hot. Meanwhile, this palette is bomb. Check it out if you haven't gotten this in your stash yet. You should totally buy it. I think it's just like 5,000 naira, and the quality is amazing. The pigmentation is world class. Okay, so pick this up if you haven't picked it up yet. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching, please leave me a comment down below. What do you think about the things that I highlighted in this video, the things I talked about in this video? What do you think about that? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. And then also subscribe. This is Vlogmas Day 5 and you are not subscribed. What's going on? Please subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Mwah.